actor, singer, and philanthropist. You name it, he's it. You most definitely know him from his role as Kurt from Glee. Please welcome my friend, Chris Colfer.
Hey! How are you guys?
Look at you.
Great, Chris.
You look so good.
Oh, thank you.
This is Dr. Priyanka Wally.
Hi, so nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you, too. Such a big fan.
Yes.
Oh, likewise. Thank you for having me.
Chris Colfer is one of the nicest people in the business. Me and Todd, my producing partner, produced a show called Hot in Cleveland with Betty White and a bunch of other great people. And Chris Colfer was on it. He played Wendy Malick's son, Tony Chase. Wasn't that fun?
That was seriously one of the best experiences of my acting career, hands down.
Really?
Getting to work with Wendy and Betty White and Carol Burnett, and it was a dream. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Valerie Bertinelli, Jane
Yes.
Leaves. That was a great cast. You were so good on that show. Thank you for doing it, by the way. And thank you for doing this today. Bye.
Of course.
No, what if that was it?
Easiest podcast ever.
You just adored and then you leave. I want to ask, because a lot of people don't know if you've been living in the dark. Chris is a brilliant, gifted writer. And you have a virtual book tour for your new, is it a book or a series called A Tale of Sorcery?
Oh, yes. I am about to embark on a virtual book tour for my new book. It's called A Tale of Sorcery, and it is the third book in my prequel series, which is the prequel series is the prequel to my other series, The Land of Stories.
Yeah, The Land of Stories. And that did really well. There's like 6, 8 books or something like that?
There's 6 in the series. I think there's about 16 total in the Land Stories universe because I wrote a lot of spinoffs.
I love that. Wow.
Isn't that wild? Here's what's so crazy about you is like, it's always wild when you think you know a celebrity or a famous person or a person in the in the public eye, and then you come out with this like, wait a minute, this guy writes all of these books and they're New York Times bestsellers. I mean, it's so impressive. Do you love writing?
I do. Yes,
do you
absolutely.
prefer it over acting?
I do because I can do it in my pajamas. Only personalities I have to deal with when I'm writing are my own.
Right.
So that's kind of nice. But no, I love it. And I'm so lucky that I have a following and people want to read my books. And so many kids around the world love them. So I'm very lucky.
Do you have a process that gets you into kind of the creative space, or is it just something that you can just sit down and start? Or do you have to get into a particular headspace to do your work?
It's more, it's not necessarily a process. I think it's more of a cry for help. I take a lot of caffeine in the morning. I start the day, I have breakfast, I have my coffee, I sit at my computer and I spend a half an hour having fake arguments with politicians. And then I spend the next half hour having imaginary conversations with Wendy Williams. And then,
by the way, do you win any of those arguments with the politicians?
Oh, with Paul. Oh, I win all of them in my mind, of course. Yeah.
Right.
And then once the pretend stuff is over, then I eventually get to writing.
Okay, so in true Hollywood fashion, has anybody optioned them and going to make them in a TV show or movies or anything?
Yes, we were in development with 20th Century Fox for about 2 years, developing them into feature films. And then the Disney merger happened, and then the pandemic happened. And there were so many changes within that process. With we were doing it with Emma Watts, and who was wonderful, and Kara Goldberg, who was wonderful. They were the executives on it. And once they left Fox, everything was just so different. I decided
then you got to start over. And,
So I decided to take the rights back and have a fresh start. So that's what we're doing now. So
That's
I'm not in
great.
a rush. So yeah,
I'm so excited. I can't wait. I heard this. Is it true that you bought things online while you were sleeping, or while it's like, is this true? And is that like something that happens all the time? Like what's going on?
It's so crazy. Sleep has always been like my nemesis. Like I've never been a good sleeper ever since I was a kid. I've had insomnia my entire life. And so I have always had to take melatonin or, over the counter stuff. I have better stuff now when I'm desperate. But I was going online and buying these ridiculous things while I was asleep. The most ridiculous was a huge portrait of Marie Antoinette. Framed.
Oh, you didn't have one
painted.
yet?
No, I didn't. But now she's over my bathroom. She's over my toilet.
Sure.
And it just makes me laugh every time I see her.
And when you would wake up the next day, did you at least dream about Marie Antoinette at all, or
Yeah.
did she have? And so you're just like, here we are. Okay.
Here we are.
So wait,
Yeah,
would
here-
these things would arrive at your house and you forgot that you bought them?
Yeah, and it got to the point where when I would wake up, I would immediately check my Amazon purchases just to
wow.
make sure nothing happened overnight.
Wow.
And any
Wow.
remorse purchases?
Not really. I mean, let me think.
Just a
I
car,
got
one of those
just
cars.
right.
You bought.
Thank God I wasn't like that. But no, I ordered the entire Carol Burnett series on DVD, like the entire show. Like it was like
Sure.
500 DVDs showed up,
Wow.
and this was before I worked with her on Hot in Cleveland. So I mean, clearly, I mean, I've always been a huge fan. But yeah, so I like picked a few and then sent the rest back because I didn't have the space for it.
That's
Wow.
so funny.
So
That's
your
funny.
subconscious was clearly channeling in Carol.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even before you actually met her. That is really interesting.
That
what a
fascinating.
fascinating dream world you have.
I would love to buy things when I'm awake, actually. So now let's get to the meat and bones, because while you're here, while we're all here, which is why I love this show, I want to know about what is perotitis. Am I saying that right?
So word on the street is that you had 2 cases of perotitis. Is this first of all true? And Sean, perotitis, it's inflammation of the parotid gland, which is this gland that's responsible for making saliva. It's literally
In
under
your
the
face?
skin. It's in front of the ear above the jaw. And
Okay.
there's a little duct that goes from the parotid gland to your mouth is called the
Uh-oh.
parotid duct. And sometimes that duct can get blocked and then the parotid gland can get inflamed, perotitis.
And then you quack like that. Did you say duck?
Well,
There's a
and
duck.
then,
Yeah,
and then
I
you
had a
come
lot
on
of
hypo
crackers.
and you tell us about it.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
what's the story? What
So,
happened?
well, first off, if there is any word on the street about me, I'm so glad that it is that I had perotitis twice, because Lord knows that could be worse.
All right.
But yeah, so I had perotitis. I was hospitalized for both of them because it was so extreme and so painful.
How old were you?
The first time I was 26.
Oh wow! So you were an adult. This
Yeah,
was
yeah.
not- okay.
I love talking about my medical history. Like, this is such a treat. I'm so
love-
excited.
oh,
You're in
good.
the right place.
No one's ever asked me. Like, I always like give it involuntarily
we
to someone.
Ask you.
Yeah.
We want to know.
Oh yeah, no, it was the craziest thing. Like, I literally just woke up one morning and I felt like tight on the side of my face, and I noticed I was just like a little cushy on the side of my face, and I was like, oh, that's weird. And I thought I had like an ear infection or something, because it was right below the ear. And throughout the day, it just started swelling more and more and more, and it ballooned out so much. It was probably a good like 4 or 5 inches. It was literally like out to here. And it's hard enough being an aging child star. So when your face literally expands like a balloon, like it's not so fun.
Yeah.
But it was
Wait a
also
minute.
one of the most painful things I've ever experienced, because it felt like I was giving birth in the side of my face, because it was just, oh my God. I remember sitting in the ER, and I was literally about to like grab something and just shove it in my face just to release the pressure.
Yeah.
Wow. Wouldn't you have
yeah.
freaked out if a baby came out of your face?
A little parotid baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God, a parakeet, since it's perotitis,
That's
you know?
So let's get a little bit more information. So perotitis, a lot of risk factors can be like if you are prone to dehydration or anything that can make the duct less lubricated. Sometimes there can be little stones that end up in the duct. So as far as you can tell, any clear idea what caused your perotitis the first time?
No idea. It probably might have been dehydration, because I was on a book tour like days before. What was really strange was the night before it started swelling, I felt so weak. And I don't know if it has anything to do with an immune system or energy level, but I remember I was like out to dinner with friends and had like a drink, and then like I couldn't even walk because I was so exhausted. And so the next day I was like, oh my God, what happened? And then my face started swelling. So
Right.
I wonder if the two are connected.
Yeah, so what I assume is that the inflammation in the parotid gland had already begun siphoning your energy stores. And so that fatigue you felt was your body trying to mount a local response to the inflammation.
Oh, interesting.
But, it obviously couldn't mount it. So
Yeah.
that's really interesting. Had you taken any medications that prior to that would have caused a dry mouth or like
No.
diphenhydramine or Benadryl or anything that
No.
might have caused it? And is
No,
there any
yeah.
family history? Anyone in your family that gets recurrent perotitis?
We have a lot of big heads in my family, but perotitis doesn't run the family.
So then you went to the hospital, got it treated, and then it happened again?
Yeah, about a year and a half later, it happened again. Yeah. And the first time I had it, I actually had a procedure like where they actually went in to see if they could find a clog, and they couldn't. They had no idea there was no clog. They had no idea what caused it. But, and I will still get it to this day occasionally. I just like, I always have like medication with me when I travel. I have like, like a steroid and like an anti-inflammatory and that kind of stuff, just in case it starts. And that's been good. That's kept it at bay.
Wait, now I'm an idiot. Priyanka, newsflash. So what is it? Is a duct in your cheek to your ear that gets clogged? And what's it supposed to do normally?
So it's a gland
Oh, it's a
that's
gland.
located right in front of the ear but above the jaw. And that gland, the parotid gland, is responsible for saliva formation.
I got it.
So the saliva goes from the gland through the parotid duct into the mouth, and it makes saliva.
So when you did have it, did you, like Priyanka said, did you just have dry mouth for such a long time?
Well, no, dry mouth was never really a symptom before or after or during, but it's crazy because the doctor, when I went into the hospital the first time, I actually went into the ER and then they sent me home and the doctor said, just have as much hard candy as you can to try to get the saliva to pass, unclog itself.
Right. And you're like, deal.
And I'm like, sure. I'm like, okay, wow, that's the first time a doctor's ever prescribed me candy.
Yeah.
I remember I went home and I had like a lemon drop or something. And I remember as soon as the candy touched my tongue, it was just excruciating pain. Yeah. And then it just got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I had to go to the hospital.
And the concern really, the reason this needs to be taken so seriously is because if the infection or the inflammation continues to grow, it can actually enter in the fascial planes of the face and cause further infections, which would be a very serious issue, especially as an actor. I mean, if you developed bacterial infection in the fascia of your face, the only way to get rid of that would be surgical debridement.
Oh my God. So you're saying it's natural filler?
Yeah, it would be not the good kind of. It's like your worst nightmare.
The worst,
Where can I get perotitis? Yeah.
We are supported by Rothy's. Hey, it's 2021. Nobody has time for uncomfortable shoes.
I don't.
Nobody has time for that.
No.
That's where Rothy's comes in.
What makes Rothy's so good?
Their unique, seamless design in insanely comfortable the moment you put them on.
Let me tell you, they are so comfortable and they're washable. You feel like you're walking on a cloud. It's super, super soft. It's breathable. And by the way, not too shabby on the eyes, too. They're really good-looking shoes.
They are very aesthetically pleasing. And after talking to you, I ordered some. I can't wait to get them on. And I've only heard good things.
Yeah, great style, great comfort. If that's what you're looking for, Rothy's are for you. Their fan-favorite styles are sustainably made with materials like plastic water bottles, fully machine washable, and available in tons of shapes, styles, and colors, so you can always find the right one for you.
I mean, that's huge to be fully machine washable. Plus, their spacious washable bags are perfect for effortlessly carrying your essentials.
Yeah, and good news, guys. If you're listening, Rothy's shoes aren't just for women anymore. That's right. Rothy's now sells men's sneakers and men's driving loafers. That's what I was talking about earlier. Rothy's men's line features the same level of craftsmanship as Rothy's women's line. Durable, washable, better for the planet. Plus, rigorously tested for a perfect fit wash after wash.
To help you welcome the fall season in style, Rothy's is doing something special. That's right. They gave us the chance to share this super rare opportunity with our listeners for a limited time. Right now, you can get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/hypo. That's ROTHYS.com/hypo. Head to rothys.com/hypo to find your new favorites today. So the second time this happened, was it on the same side?
It was on the opposite side.
Oh, wow.
So I had it once on, I think the first time was on my right side and the second time was on my left side.
And when it started to happen on the left side, were you kind of like, oh, I know what this is?
Yes, I knew exactly what it was. And it happened pretty quick. The progression happened pretty quick on the left side. And I immediately went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so glad I left when I did because again, it was incredibly painful. And by the time I got there, I was like, okay, I need, they put me on a morphine drip because it was so, it was so painful.
You also, didn't you have some kind of lymph node surgery at one point, or?
Oh my gosh, yes. Where did you guys get this info?
Okay.
This is it's creepy and yet an honor at the same time.
Wait, you had surgery on your lymph nodes?
Yes, actually, I don't know if you can see my scar through the Zoom. I have it right here.
Oh wow, yeah.
It's a little different. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was in second grade, I had a series of infected lymph nodes that they removed.
Was it just
my
on that
God.
right side, or was it both sides?
It was just on this side right here. Yeah, the left side.
This is how he got it.
So that could be a potential risk factor.
Yeah.
Usually it happens though closer to after surgery, not like years later.
Years,
but it's
yeah.
possible. It's possible that there was something going on that affected that.
That's fascinating to me. Do you have pictures of you? Like,
Oh yes,
with a
they will
blood-
never see the light of day.
Oh, I want to see those. I want to see those.
Absolutely not. No. I do not need the children making memes and TikToks and
The children.
I don't need that in my life.
Yeah.
Did this inspire any characters in any of your books?
Well, sort of. My mom was a character, and I remember like. I was in the hospital, so I called her to come down and be my mom because I was a little scared. And I remember she came in, my face was like out to here, and she came in, she's like, "You're not gonna believe what happened to me today." And I was just like, "What happened, Mom?" And she's like, "A man tried to sell me an orange on the freeway."
And meanwhile, your face is 3 times the size. Yeah.
And that was also like when I first went to the hospital, like the nurses would come in and they'd be like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I like.
Yeah.
I'd be like, shingles.
Yeah.
Like,
You're
what
like,
do you-
have you seen the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade? I'm one of those
Right, yeah,
balloons.
yeah.
I'm an actual.
Yeah, I'm about to hit the ceiling.
Wait,
What's
I'm
wrong?
curious, Chris. The second, was there any similarity in the storyline between the first time and the second time in terms of like, were you also on a book tour? Or were you also physically in the same condition, or was there any pattern that you can kind of recognize?
No, there wasn't. The first time was the book tour, and like you said, it was probably dehydration because I had been traveling so much. And it's good to know that what you said about the energy and the immune system and stuff, because I remember I was at the Chateau Marmont having dinner with my publishers and my team because we were celebrating the end of the book tour. And that's when I felt loopy and I couldn't stand. And I remember I was paparazzi'd on the way out, and my dad was actually carrying me to the car, and everyone thought I was just drunk. And I was actually ill, but I've never been able to clarify that to anybody. Anyway, yeah. But there was nothing like that the second time around. The second time was very random, and I think I'd just been at home the whole week before.
Wow.
Wait, you touched on something. Wait, where did you grow up?
Oh, I grew up in Fresno, California.
Oh, okay.
So your mom was an anesthesiology scheduler, not an
Yes.
anesthesiologist.
No. So she was the only scheduler for anesthesia in the county. So anytime
Wow.
anybody had surgery in our county, my mom knew about it. And she's passed away since. So
I'm sorry.
I can say this without her going to jail. She had a big mouth, and she would spread that
say-
shit like Nutella.
So, like HIPAA was not a
Oh,
thing.
the HIPAA law, absolutely. They were all those laws are broken. And like I remember,
wow.
she I get home from school and she'd be like, "So, Christopher, was your friend Tom at school today?"
Oh,
And I'd be like, "No, he wasn't."
That-
Oh, why did he say he was gone? And I'd
Oh,
be like,
my
"Oh, I think
gosh.
he had a dentist appointment." She's like, "Oh, no.
Let me tell you what
he had a
happened.
wart removed from his anus."
oh Jesus.
That
know.
is hilarious. And she just knew everything about everybody.
Yeah, she was drunk with power.
Yeah, wow.
You know, Priyanka, we talked about this before a little bit, but one of these days on an episode, you have to tell me, excuse my language, I'm fucking fascinated with anesthesiology because how in the world, remember I said this before, how did they discover there's a drug that won't kill you, but will put you in such a deep sleep that you won't wake up with a knife inside of you.
Yeah,
So
it's amazing.
it's unbelievable. Like we don't talk about it now, but I really want to know the history of it. Like,
Yeah.
we need to make a documentary or something.
For
I don't know.
sure. Well, I can only assume, this is an assumption, I haven't looked anything up, that there was a trial and error period.
Yeah,
where
that's what I'm saying.
They definitely killed a few people
That's
along
what I'm saying.
the way. It's like,
yeah, like,
not
how
that
did
one.
you? Right. Oops. Sorry. Next. Yeah. I'd be like, I'm out of here.
Wait, so Chris, did your mom know about your surgeries? Like, did you even have to tell her because she was the scheduler?
Oh yeah, no, I believe she scheduled my surgeries too. Yeah, when I was a kid, it was, and she always made sure I had the best one.
Yeah.
Which was a great bonus, a great perk.
God knows who she told about your stuff.
I mean, everybody probably. Thank God she passed away before like Instagram and Pinterest. Otherwise, I would. She probably got herself arrested. I don't know.
But I think it brings up a really interesting point, right? Like, because healthcare providers or anyone working in the healthcare system, we're supposed to, follow these HIPAA laws. But there is something about the burden of holding in a secret and not being able to tell anyone. It's actually a lot of energy. Right.
Yeah, and I will say she only would tell like me and my dad and my sister. Like it was never like she would never like get on the phone and tell her friends about you know what Susan's having removed. Like it was never like that. But she loved her job so much, and she loved. She actually worked. Her office was actually in the OR at our hospital, and I remember every time I would go visit her at work, she would like dress me up in scrubs and parade. We'd like walk me through the ORs like while people were having surgery. Yeah, and now looking back, I'm like, how that couldn't have been legal having a child in an OR, and all the surgeons and all the doctors would be like, oh my God, Karen, you brought your daughter to work, and she'd be like, no, he's just high pitched.
It's just, oh my God. So wait a minute, should we get to our game?
Do you want to tell us about your hip surgery real quick before the game?
I'm happy either, whatever you guys want to do.
Okay, you're a very young man, and you had you had hip surgery at such a young age. What is it, like a stress fracture, or what? Why did you need hip surgery?
I think it really was the amount of dancing we had to do on Glee. I think none of our bodies were ready for it. And I remember the first time I got a call saying, "Oh, you have a dance rehearsal tomorrow." While we were shooting the pilot, I was like, "What do you mean dance?" Like, because the pilot never mentioned, the script never mentioned once that any of us were dancing, and they never even like checked to see if we could dance. So I think 7 years of, Glee had a really grueling schedule. I think 7 years of that really aggravated my hip.
Did you guys not warm up, or did you not know how to warm up?
We would warm up. I think I just like, it's almost like, taking, I had never danced before, and it was basically going from no physical, I wasn't an athlete, I wasn't a dancer. Right. And then suddenly we were in the, the musical theater Olympics, basically.
Right.
So I think that didn't help. I think that's what did the initial damage. But essentially my socket my bulb was too big for my hip socket, which, if I had a nickel.
Right.
So they had to go in and they had to shave it down a little bit. But I remember being I was the youngest patient in those waiting rooms by like 6 years.
Yeah.
Right.
But wait, so it wasn't hip replacement. It was just like a little shaving out. And how do you feel now? Fine, right?
Good. Yeah, it took me a while to recover. I did physical therapy for 16 weeks after the operation, 3 times a week. That helped, but I think after that I started working with a personal trainer, and I think that's what really helped. And making it stronger. It was really the best thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Okay, now we can get to the game. It's called Dr. Wally's Hall of Fame. You're each going to get 3 questions, and if you don't get it right, I'll give you some possible points for creativity. So, Sean will go first. Sean will get the first 3 questions, and then you, Chris. All right, Sean, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
These organs, I'm going to name them: your spleen, your gallbladder, your appendix, and one of your kidneys.
Okay.
What do they all have in common?
What do they all have in common?
I'll say them again. Your spleen, gallbladder, appendix, and one of your kidneys.
Okay, what they have in common is I couldn't identify where they are in the body.
Okay, I'll give you a point for creativity for that. But these are all...
you don't need. You don't need them. Is that right?
Yeah,
I totally guessed.
You can actually live without. Okay.
And they're all delicious.
Yeah, just a little salt, pepper, and garlic. You're good to go.
Okay, next question. Which actor voiced both Darth Vader in Star Wars and Mufasa in The Lion King?
Oh, come on. James Earl Jones.
Very good. Okay.
Yeah.
Third.
I mean, everybody knows that. He was on Will and Grace, too.
Okay. Mandy Patinkin won a Tony Award for his role in which 1980 Broadway musical?
Evita.
Nice. Okay.
Evita.
So, Sean, you've gotten all 3 questions.
How about that?
Chris, this never happens.
No.
Okay, so this is
I'm
amazing.
so intimidated.
No, listen to me loud and clear. This never, ever happens.
Let's begin. Okay, Chris, your first question.
Okay.
There are 4 basic types of teeth, okay? What is the name for the teeth that can be found between the incisors and the premolars?
Perotitis.
Oh my
I think
God.
it's called the perotitis teeth.
Well, I suppose in this town they're all called veneers.
I'll give you a
Bravo.
point for creativity.
Yeah.
Right.
The answer are the canines. They're called
Oh,
the
the
canines.
canines.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yeah.
the incisors are the 8 teeth in the front center of the mouth, 4 on the top, 4 on the bottom, and then the canines are next to that.
Oh, yeah.
And so then
rip
you have
things apart.
Molars, which are your largest teeth, they're for grinding and tearing and crushing food. And then right in front of that are the premolars. So, okay. So next question. In Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, what is the phrase to reveal the Marauder's map?
I absolutely swear I'm up to no good.
Very good. That is
What?
correct.
Oh, my God. I can't believe you know that.
Do you want
mean-
to answer another one? Like it's just a bonus, no points, but just to see if you get it? One?
Sure.
Okay. Who did the map reveal was still alive?
Peter Pettigrew.
That is
Yeah,
correct.
Peter
Okay, how
Pettigrew.
about one more quick?
God, I can't
like
believe you
freebie,
got that.
freebie. The
I was a kid in the early 2000s. Of course, I was obsessed
Yeah.
with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another
I
freebie
am
since
too,
you're doing
but
so well. What is the phrase to clear the map?
Mischief manage.
Yes, that is
Mischief
correct.
managed.
Okay. All right, now back to the normal questions. All right, this is for points. In the pilot episode of the TV show Glee, you may be familiar, your character Kurt auditions for the New Directions Glee Club with what song?
Mr. Cellophane.
That is correct.
Oh, that was my audition song for the show. They just-
Oh,
they
it
put it in.
was?
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay,
that's
so
great.
you both have gotten 3 points because of creativity, so we need to do a tiebreaker round. Okay, so tiebreaker, first person to answer correctly or close
gosh.
enough wins. Okay?
Okay, go. Yes.
Tiebreaker, here we go. What is the longest running musical in Broadway history?
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of
That
the
is
Opera.
correct.
Yes!
How did you-
Answered correctly.
Wait, time out.
What
Time
a
out.
close game.
Time out. A, I only said it super fast after you did because I didn't know it. B, why do you have that? Why do you have that at the ready? How do you know that? I would have guessed like, I don't know, Oklahoma or Hamilton or Cats. I would have guessed
Yeah.
Cats.
I think it was Cats, and then and Phantom took over.
Wow.
I think I was in high school in like drama when that happened, so that was like a huge deal for us, for us theater kids.
Well, Chris Colfer, you did it again. You
You
won the
won.
game.
You are in Dr.
You won
Wallen's
as an
Hall of
author. You won as a patient. You won as an actor.
You're winning
You're
at
a winner.
life.
You are a
winning
big
at
winner.
life.
God, thanks, guys. This is so much fun.
You're the best, Chris. Thank you so much for being here. I love you. I'm so proud of all your achievements, and I can't wait to read the new books.
Oh,
Thank
likewise,
you so
likewise. Thank you.
much. It was such a pleasure to meet you. You're
You
amazing.
too. Thank you.
Thanks, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye.